Hello everyone, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. Today we are going to go over what these features do in Cricut Design Space. I've seen a lot of videos about the Weld feature and some about the Unite, but I do know that there have been several people, other crafters, that have made comments about, I don't really know what the Intersect and the Subtract and Exclude features do. So we're going to go over those today. So first we will start with the Unite feature. I'm going to go ahead and delete that out, and we'll move this. We're going to attach this so it's all one piece. We're going to move this over here. So we'll start out by grabbing a shape. I'm just going to get a hexagon. We're going to make it a little bit larger. I'm going to go grab another shape, and we'll use the cake topper stick for purposes of this video. We're going to overlap the cake topper stick on this hexagon as seen here. So as you can see, we'll make this white. So as you can see, we have our hexagon, and then we have our cake topper stick roughly centered across the bottom, and they're overlapping each other. So if we select both of those by running your mouse across both, like so, you come down here to the Combine window or option, and we will click on Unite. What that does is creates one cutout versus having two separate pieces to cut out. So it takes the piece that's overlapping and cuts that out and opens it up to make it one cut piece. So that's what our Unite feature does. We'll move this over here. I'm going to grab another shape. We're going to move on to Intersect. We'll grab the hexagon again, and then I'll grab that cake topper stick again. That's really big. Alright, and we will do the same thing here. We will kind of put it roughly centered to the bottom. And I'm just eyeballing it because this is just for educational purposes. But make sure that your measurements and your placement are correct if you're using this in the future for a project. We will highlight both of those. We will come down to Combine, and we will go to Intersect because that's the next one on our list. And as you can see, everything... Actually, I'm going to duplicate this so that you can see what happens. So here's the before. Here's the after, and then if we come down to Combine and Intersect, you will see that only the piece right here that overlaps or intersects with, of the cake topper stick that intersects with the hexagon gets cut out. So if we were to use another example, let's use a circle, and then another circle. And we'll make sort of kind of like a Venn diagram looking overlap here. Go down here to Combine, Intersect. Only the piece of the two circles that overlap will be cut out, and that's what you're left with. Okay? So that's our Intersect feature. I've never had to use that feature for anything before. But again, it's always nice to know what things will do in Cricut Design Space if you've never used them before. Alright, so we're going to grab this circle. We're going to move on to the Weld feature. We're going to grab that cake topper stick again. We're going to place it roughly in the center. And we will select both of those, come down to Combine, and click Weld. And so you kind of get the same effect as the Unite. You're taking two shapes and making them one. Now this is one cut shape versus having two separate pieces to cut. Alright. Then on to our Subtract feature. I'm going to grab a circle from our Shapes panel. I'm going to use a star for this one. We'll make the circle black, and we'll make the star red so that you can see it. Alright, I'm going to make the star a little larger. Kind of place it there in the center. We'll go to align and center that. If you select both, come down to combine, click subtract. It cuts out the star from the center of your circle. So if you were to click make it, you would have one mat with a circle and then a star cut out of the center. This is not the same as layering vinyl. If you were to layer vinyl, you would have had it the same way that it was prior to subtracting the two. But anything that's overlapping, so this is two separate pieces. If you were to click make it, you'd have a black mat and a red mat. You'd have the star on one mat and the circle on another. But now that we have subtracted the two, put this in the center, we'll do this again, combine, subtract. It will now just have your circle with the star cut out of it that you could weed out. Okay? So we will make this smaller, stick it down here, we'll delete this one. So for the last one, we have the exclude feature. I'm going to use that same circle, make it black. I'm going to grab a star again, and I'm going to make it green. I'm going to put that in the center. And before I do anything with this, I'm going to duplicate it so that we have that to reference at a later time after we see what the exclude feature does. So if you select both of these, because right now they're two separate pieces, come down to combine, click exclude. It's now one piece. So here we had two separate pieces. They would cut separately on separate mats. And here it's one piece. And if I add the grid lines back, you can see those grid lines behind it. So this feature and the subtract feature do kind of work very similarly. And I will show you another way that this can be used. Let's say we're making, well, this is really big, but let's say we're making a keychain. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here so we can see. Let's say we're making a keychain and we need that hole for the keychain hardware at the top. So we have our circle. We can grab a smaller circle or grab another circle and make it smaller. We'll make this one white. All right. And we'll kind of center that the best we can. All right. Center that the best we can. Grab the two. And actually, I'm going to duplicate this first so that we can see how that works with the subtract and the exclude. Okay, so we're going to do the subtract feature over here on this one. Make sure both of them are selected. Subtract. All right, now this is all one piece, and you'll have the circle cut out with the smaller circle also cut out of it that you could weed out. And over here, select both and use the exclude feature, and the same thing. So these two are very similar, much like the Unite and Weld are very similar. This was the Unite, this was the Weld. As you can see, they both work very similarly. So the exclude and subtract also work very similarly. The Intersect is the only one that's kind of different all by itself. It just takes out anything that's overlapping in that area. And so again, we'll do another Intersect feature. We'll just stick this heart inside of that circle, select both, come down to combine, intersect, and you're left with just the heart. So I hope this is helpful, and I can always do a tutorial on one specifically if you're having any issues or if you have additional questions, but please feel free to let me know if you have any questions or concerns, or anything else that you'd like to know about Cricut Design Space down below in the comments, and I will do my best to filter through those and get back to you as quickly as possible. Additionally, if you have any questions, you can always reach me at aasouthern.creations@gmail.com, and I will also have that down in the description box below. Again, just let me know if you're having any issues or if you have any questions. And I hope this was helpful for someone, whether you're a beginner, whether you're not quite a beginner, but not yet a pro. We're all at our different phases of our crafting journey and our Cricut journey, so I just hope this was helpful for at least one person. All right, guys, y'all have a great day. Till next time.